Okay, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thanks for logging on. And for those of you who aren't able to get on and you're watching this, thank you for clicking back and watching the video. That really shows that you definitely want to learn about kind of more about how Plexus works and want to support your customers better. So we're super excited about that. So I decided to focus on customer and ambassador follow-up because what I feel like can happen sometimes is you get really excited, you sign an ambassador, you sign a customer, and then we forget. I am so guilty of this too. We forget that these people have never taken Plexus products before, and we kind of forget the feeling of, oh, how do you take these products? Or, oh yeah, I remember that time when I first started taking the products and my stomach was super bloated. If we don't support our customers and kind of help them how to get through that and troubleshoot with them whenever they're having troubles with the products, they're going to quit. So what happens is people get on the products start working, and they have what's called die off. And if those of you that are on this call had die off, you know what I'm talking about. If those of you that are on this call did not have die off, then you need to know what it is, because your customers and your ambassadors will have it. Basically what die off is when you're putting these products into your body and they start working and you start feeling horrible. You have some are worse than others. It depends on kind of your health before you get on Plexus, but people get dull headaches. Some people can get pretty severe headaches. People can start feeling really tired and drained all the time. They could feel like they're crampy or that they're really bloated, things like that. That's completely normal. So my response when I first got started with Plexus, because I did not know that that was normal, was, oh my gosh, the products aren't working. And that's what your customers think too. Whereas your response really should be, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. You having those effects mean that the products are working. They are killing all that bad junk and funk in your body, and that's your body trying to get rid of it. So that's called die off. And what I do is I check in with my customers and my ambassadors a lot in the beginning and try and kind of help them through that. And if you don't know what it is, search it. It's DIEOFF, and it'll kind of show you all the symptoms that you can have. So again, when people are having die off, that's good. That means the products are working. We just need to tell the customers and tell the ambassadors that, or else they will quit. So what I notice happens is, especially when we recruit really fast, we may be falling behind on the supporting part of it, and people aren't ordering the products the next month. So there's a really big attrition. So we may be recruiting 2 people, but then every month 2 people are falling off the back end. So our team really isn't growing. We're constantly hustling and constantly getting people to join the team and try out the products, which is awesome. But we also have to manage and maintain those people that we come on, that come on. So for me, I'm just going to tell y'all kind of what happened to me is I had die off pretty bad, where I was like using the restroom all the time. This is TMI, but it happened. And luckily I had my upline Jill right across the hall from me at school. So whenever that stuff started happening, I was like, dude, what the heck is this stuff doing to me? I have so much stuff coming out of my body. I didn't even know my body could hold that much. Like, that's legit what it was. And she was able to talk me through that. Now, if I didn't work right across the hall from her, I probably would have quit, because I wouldn't have had that support, and I wouldn't have had her telling me, oh, hey, that's not a big deal. Just keep on going and it's going to get better. So I'm going to kind of tell you my process of what I do with new people whenever they get started with Plexus. So whether they sign as a customer or an ambassador, I give them the same support. Because remember, y'all, just because people sign as ambassador does not mean that they know what's up with Plexus. Many people, the first time they're trying Plexus, it's as an ambassador, because it is the cheapest route to go. And there is no overhead for people doing that. So they go ahead and go the ambassador route. But what tends to happen is people think, oh, they're ambassadors, they're good, and we don't check on them. And that's not true. Think about when you first got your products and you're like, ooh, what do I do with this? It says take 2 in the morning, take 2 in the afternoon. What time do I need to take them? Do I take them with food? Do I have to drink them with a certain amount of water? Can I eat with these? Are these going to keep me up all night? We have all these questions and we forget about that. So kind of put yourself back into your shoes of when you were first an ambassador or customer, first taking the products, and the kind of questions you had. Your new people have those too. So this is kind of my process. When I get a new customer or an ambassador, I always tell them, oh, so excited, blah, blah, blah. I'm so excited for you to start this journey. You're going to love the products, you know, give them that spiel. And then when they order, I write in my calendar, and this is where it could vary, whether you're a paper pen person or whether you're a phone person. I write in my calendar. So let's say I actually had an ambassador sign today. So I'm going to go to May, and I'm going to, here's my calendar. I'm going to go to May, and I'm going to write, today is Tuesday. So I'm going to write on Saturday. I give it about 4 days. I'm going to write on Saturday, follow up with, let's say my person's name was Sarah, follow up with Sarah. So when I open my planner on Saturday, I'm going to know that I need to follow up with Sarah and see if she got her products in. Now, what I normally tell people whenever they do order the products is, hey, let me know when they come in, because I have a better way for you to take the products than what it says on the bottles. And that way I make sure that the people go ahead and contact me and say, hey, I got my products in. How can I get started? Because you want to get them started on a good regimen. And you want to, what you don't want to happen is for them to get the products and you forget and they forget to tell you, then they've been taking them for 2 weeks and they've already given up on them. That happens a lot, okay? Because they do start having that die off. So put in your phone 5 days later, whatever the case may be, and say, check up with this person to see if they have their products. So then when they get the products in, I'll message them and be like, hey, just checking up with you. Did you get your products? And of course, you can always check in the back office and see if they got their products or not. And that's going to be a tip of the day, how to track your customers' shipping. So you'll see that. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that tomorrow for y'all so you have it. So you can check and see if it's been delivered or not. But check up with them. If they say, yeah, I got my products, I'm so excited, they can start that night. So let's say I got my products today. I can start tonight with my products. So I can take the BioCleanse and the probiotic right before bed, okay? So I like to start people off with 1 probiotic and 2 cleanse. I don't do the full dose just to kind of see how their body reacts to it, because some people are more sensitive to others. So they start with 1 probiotic, 2 cleanse, and then I say, and then in the morning, about 30 minutes before you eat, drink your Slim with 8 to 12 ounces of water. And they're like, okay, they're so excited. And then the next day, sometime around 10 or noon, I'll text them and be like, hey, what did you think of your pink drink? Did you like the way it tasted? I don't like to say, oh, how was your energy? Have you noticed a difference? Because then they're expecting to. Not everyone's going to notice a difference on the first day by any means. It took me about 3 days. So I don't ask them questions like, oh, are you feeling more energy? Are you feeling less of an appetite? Because if they aren't feeling it, they're going to think it doesn't work. So I mainly just stick with taste the first week, the first couple weeks. How did you like the taste? Were you able to drink it this morning? How's your water intake today? And then I'll say, okay, that's awesome. Go ahead and take your 1 probiotic and 2 cleanse tonight. And then I'll mark down in my calendar day 3 that they're on the product. So I check in day 1 and then I do day 3. On day 3, I check in again and I say, hey, how's your water intake been? Have you been able to take your Plexus every day? And usually they're like, yeah, it's been awesome. I love the way it tastes. I can already feel energy. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. So let's go ahead and up your BioCleanse. So then about day 3, I do 2 probiotic and then 2 BioCleanse at night. And then the following morning, they'll take 1 BioCleanse with the Slim. So now we're up to 3 BioCleanse and 2 probiotics. So day 3, I check in again and I bump them up 1 more probiotic. So they're going to take 2 probiotics at night. And then they'll take 2 cleanse at night and then 1 cleanse in the morning with their Slim. So that's day 3. So then day 3, I'll let it go a couple days. And then about day 6, I contact them again. So again, I'm putting this in my phone or putting this in my planner, because if I don't, I'm going to forget. And they're not going to tell you when they're having issues, okay? So day 6, I'll contact them again. Again, I'll say, how are you feeling? And then I'll start saying something like, have you noticed better sleep yet? That's when I start asking questions like that. Because then it kind of starts getting their brain thinking too, like, oh, have I noticed better sleep? Oh yeah, I actually have. Cool, I didn't notice that it was doing that. Because a lot of people are wanting weight loss. So you need to show them the non-scale victories, like, oh, were you as tired as you usually are after work today? Did you have energy to do the dishes after dinner without being exhausted? Did you do something after work instead of going straight to the couch? Questions like that. So little victories is what you want to get from people, okay? And about day 6 is when people might start saying, actually, I've been feeling kind of tired. I'm kind of headachy. I feel kind of bloated, something like that. Some people don't get die-offs, but about day 6 is when people normally do, day 4 to 6 usually. So that's when you can kind of start talking them through their die-off, okay? So if they are having die off, always, what's your water intake like? They should be shooting for about half of their body weight in ounces. So I'm 150 pounds, so I should be shooting for about 75 ounces of water a day. Okay. So about 75 ounces of water a day is what I should be taking in, because your body has all this funk and junk in it. You want to cleanse it out. So your probiotic is killing all the fungus and yeast and bacteria in your stomach. And if you aren't flushing it, it's kind of just sitting there. You want to get rid of it. It's like when you get a massage, they always tell you to drink a lot of water. Same thing. You're flushing out your system. So usually if people are having bad die-off, they're not drinking enough water. Another reason they could be having die-off is literally because their body is just so unhealthy on the inside. And again, sometimes you just have to tell them like, hey, die-off lasts anywhere from 1 day to a week and a half. So just push through it, and I promise it'll be better in the end. Sometimes you just got to go that route. Another way of troubleshooting is if someone feels really bloated, that could be that they are taking too much probiotic too fast, and it's killing all that yeast, and that yeast is literally like blowing up in their intestinal tract, so it's making them feel very bloated. So if people feel really bloated in the beginning, back them back down to 1 probiotic until they get some more of that junk out of their system. I'm trying to think of some like common issues that we have for troubleshooting. Oh, another one is people are feeling really gassy. You need to back down on the BioCleanse. So if people feel really gassy, or if they're constantly going to the bathroom, that means that they're more sensitive to the magnesium in the BioCleanse, so they need to back off of it. So if they're up to 3, say, okay, well, let's bring you back down to 2 for a week until we can get you flushed out, and then we'll bump you back up to 3. What's another one? If someone is constipated, if they are someone who goes to the bathroom once every 3 days, once every 2 days, once every 5 days, whatever the case may be, up their BioCleanse to 4. So here's the rule of thumb. If they're really gassy or have like diarrhea, back down on the BioCleanse. If they are not going to the restroom enough, bump the BioCleanse up. So the BioCleanse is the one that's gonna kind of control how often you go to the bathroom. I personally can take 6 a day. That's just because I always kind of had an issue with going to the restroom. And I know a lot of people that had to take laxatives and stuff, they take 6 a day. But then there's other people who have IBS and they go to the restroom too much, and they also take 4 because it helps control that for them. So long story short, if it's a bathroom issue, going too much or too little, BioCleanse is going to be the answer for that. So after, let's say they didn't have any die-off. So that's if they had die-off. If they did not have any die-off and they're feeling great after day 6, I give them max dose. So I get them on 2 probiotic and 2 BioCleanse at night, right before bed. I literally keep mine on my nightstand, and Kid and I both take ours right before bed. And then in the morning with their pink drink, they're going to take the other 2 BioCleanse. So their full regimen is going to be wake up, take 2 BioCleanse with your Slim, and then at night, take your other 2 BioCleanse. So if you're confused by all that and setting up regimens, definitely ask your upline. But I just wanted to give the triplex one because I know a lot of people get started with that and you get kind of confused about it. I will post something tonight in the team page that also has a graphic of that so that you can just send it to people. But a big thing though is checking up with people. Don't just send the graphic and expect them to follow it, because I've sent it to people and I will ask them a week later, how are you taking your products? They're like, oh, I take 6 BioCleanse at night and 4 probiotic, and then I take a Slim at 10 and a Slim at 2. I'm like, what? How did you get that from the graphic? So make sure that you're checking in on people. That's huge. Okay, so again, I'm going to kind of tell you what my follow-up routine is. Day 1 of products, day 3, day 6, I do 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 1 month. So it's like very high maintenance the first month. And then after that, you've pretty much got them set on their routine. And then after that, I just do monthly follow-ups. And by that point, they're really comfortable. So if they do have an issue, they're going to come to you. Whereas before, if you don't follow up with them, they're probably not going to tell you about issues that they have. Okay. So again, ask your upline or post in the team page if you have problems with regimens and troubleshooting. But I've had a lot of people that were about to quit Plexus. We fixed them up and then they love it now. It was just a matter of getting them the right products during the right time of day. Okay. Again, I'll share that graphic. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about customer service. We are our ambassadors and our customers' customer service. Okay, so think about a store that you've gone into and people just ignore you. They aren't kind to you when you walk in. They obviously don't care anything about your experience there. They just want you to buy something from them, and then you're chopped liver after that. Okay, we don't want to be those people. We want to be like, I don't know, an awesome spa where you go in and they serve you wine and they rub your feet and they do whatever you want. We want to be that kind of person where we're giving our people great customer service and they want to come back. We don't want them to think that we're just selling them a product and then good luck. We don't want to be like that. Okay. And one part of that is calling customer service whenever your customers have issues. So if your customer has a shipping problem, if your customer didn't get a product that they were supposed to, if your customer has any sort of issue at all, yes, you could just be like, here's the customer service line. Or you can say, hey, I'll take care of that. The hold times are way down. So just do that extra step for them and say, girl, I will get that for you. Let me call and check on your shipping for you. It takes 10 minutes of your day and it means the world to them. So that's really great customer service. And I still do that for my ambassadors. If people are just getting started, even though they're ambassadors, I don't expect them to get on the line with customer service. I tell them, hey girl, yeah, I'll do it for you. It's no big deal. And then I relay the information to them. Now, people that have been my ambassadors for a year, they should probably know how to call customer service. That doesn't mean I won't do it if I'm calling in anyway. Of course, I'll absolutely 100% handle your issues. But at that point, you need to be kind of self-sufficient. But your newbies, 100%. Get on that phone with them and help them with that. It means more than you can show. Another way is plugging them in. When you get a new ambassador, y'all, get them on those Monday night training calls so that they can know about what Plexus is about. Think about you when you first got started, you were like, I have no idea what I just signed up for. Even if they aren't interested in selling, on that Monday, take the initiative to not just be like, hey girl, there's a team call. Did you see it on the page? Or hey, go on and actually go to the team call, copy the Zoom link and send it to them and say, hey, here's a call that's going to be about an hour long. It's going to give you lots of information. And then you never know, maybe they'll want to sell after that. More people than not, when they get plugged into those calls, they want to sell. They're every Monday night at 8:30. And so just send them the link. All your newbies that you recruited that week, send the link and say, hey, here's some more information. You can at least find out more about the products and what the business is like. It's no pressure. If they get on, they get on. If they don't, they don't. But at least you gave them that opportunity. Maybe they didn't tell you that they wanted to be a part of the business, but maybe they see that and they see the opportunity and they see the value in it. And because of you getting them on that call, they're going to start working the business and be able to provide for their family. You never know. I mean, people just don't share with you stuff that's happening to them personally. So definitely take that extra step of not just tagging them on the team page or saying, hey, there's a team call, actually send the link to them. So just really going that extra step. Now, I am going to now get Jenny Beth on the call. That's kind of my part of this. Jenny Beth Zambrano is someone who, she was actually my science coach last year at my school. She's amazing. I love her. She was not only good at her science job, but she has now moved and is a stay-at-home mama for her kiddos. But she has the best customer service that I've ever seen from anyone that I know in Plexus. She is amazing. She has very low attrition rate. Most of the people that become her ambassadors or her customers stick with her. She's been an ambassador for a while now, and she's had very few, maybe 3 people drop off from her. So when people go to her, they stick. And the reason is because she has great customer service. So I'm going to flip it over to Jenny Beth, and then she's going to share with y'all what she does.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
You're good. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Well, this is really my favorite part of the whole business. And I think it's because at my years at the school district, I was always assigned a team. I didn't get the opportunity to choose my team, but I got the opportunity. I had to grow my team and build relationships with them. So this is really genuinely my favorite part. And so I wanted to show you a few of the things that I do. Some of them reflect my personality, and I just thought to share them with you, and then you can just kind of take them as ideas and make them your own as well. So the reason why I do the whole building relationships and customer service is because I really want to build a strong team. And I understand from our compensation plan that really your levels 1, 2s, and 3s are your core of your team. And so I really want to love them as much as I can and support them as much as I can. So then they can we can form our own tribe, and then they can go and love their own people. So I'm always posting that graphic on Facebook because I just love it. It says, find your tribe and love them hard. And so one of the things that I do, I wanted to show you, welcome. When I sign an ambassador, I have this little manual that Rachel shared with me at the beginning when I signed up. And so what I do is that I section it for them, and then I go through it because my team is basically in College Station, in Austin, and in Houston. And so I don't have anybody here. So I have to try my best to actually reach out. So what I do is I make notes for them throughout the little manual. And this is something that Rachel got from, I think from B-Plexus probably. I'm not really sure, but it's really helpful.
It's actually in our files tab.
Yes, and it's really helpful, y'all. So what I do is that I go through it, and this is a husband and wife team, and so I read through it, and then I make notes on the side, and then I tell them, okay, here's your downlines. So Becky, I'm your level 1. Rachel's your level 2. Jill is your level 3. So it's like I'm talking to them throughout the manual because I know that I won't get a chance to sit next to them. And they both live in Austin. So I do that throughout the whole manual just in case they have any questions. And then I actually get on the phone with them and talk them through it because I have a copy as well. So that's kind of a welcome overall general information for my ambassadors that I send them. When I have a customer, I send them a welcome letter. And so what I do, I send them a little card, and I have tons of these, and they're usually just kind of the same. I have them all in a box, and I just send them a welcome letter saying, hey, I'm so excited that you're about to get your products, blah, 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 blah. And I try to do that the day that they sign with me or the next day to put them in the mail, so it kind of gets there at the same time as their products. And so then I have opened some kind of line of communication. So one of the important things that I've noticed is that people really need to know the products. They need to measure themselves, and they also need to, of course, take pictures and take their scale weight. But one of the things that they don't do is the measuring. And so this is one packet that I prepared. I'm actually going to send it tomorrow. So what I do, I include a little measuring tape, and it's whatever I can find, y'all. And it's the cheapest thing. Like I found these for $1. This one and a little manual one that looks like this. They come in a pack. And so there's no excuses here. Please take your measurement. So I include that in the packet. And with product information, because I also send it with them. So I print these out from Plexus Power Team. And what I do is, again, I go through it and I make some notes throughout. You can probably see this, but this is for a good friend of mine that signed up. And so I'll just kind of make silly comments, just depending who I'm sending it to. I make silly comments throughout, and just to kind of keep them engaged throughout the reading. Like on this one, it says, having an excess of toxic waste can leave the body tired, achy, and bloated. And I put it right here, OMG, I had all of these. So just to try to make it informal and laid back, so it's not just boringly reading material. And I get all of this from the Plexus Power Tools. And if in our conversation we're talking about that they're still hungry, or do you eat breakfast, you don't eat breakfast. And so here's another one that I'm going to send tomorrow to a good ambassador of mine, and I'm like, you have to have 15 grams of protein, and she didn't even know what that would mean. And so I'm sending her a vanilla and a chocolate. With it, I'm sending her a Plexus Power Tools resource with the P96, and I'm highlighting, hey, it has 15 grams of protein. So I'm just trying to support them as much as I can. with the information, the product information, and then also I don't mind sharing my products. And so I just give them one and one because I know that she needs it. She's going to order later. So you just kind of have to judge there. So you're not giving too much away. So the other, or if I need to do instructions like how to mix your P96 or how to mix your Slim, I'll grab one of these little cards and I'll just write it for them and just kind of write it just step by step. So then we've talked on by text, maybe we've talked on the phone, but they also get a card in the mail. I just try to hit every possible way of communication so then we don't mess up there. We don't have any misunderstandings. Oh, and one thing I got to show you is with the P96, sometimes people don't really know what to mix it with. And so I made this little recipe book. And so I put notes throughout, and so they get this little tiny book and with their recipes. And so I added 2 more, and of course I don't have it printed, so I just kind of put it all together and send it to them. So again, some of these things just kind of reflect my personality, but it's just little things that I do that are very low cost that help me support them throughout their journey. I send them. The other thing that I do is for support. So if I need to remind them of water, I'll send them a text message. I actually text message them every day. I do an emoticon or a, hey, how's your water? Because I know that a lot of people will say, yes, I drink enough water, but they never quantify it. You got to really listen for that. They never tell, and I tell them half of your body weight in ounces, but they'll say, yeah, I've drank a lot of water. So the conversation and the text kind of tells me if they really are getting close to their goals. So I do that. I also send them things in the mail or communicate to them for celebrations. So if they have, like, let's see. Okay, so this one, these are just kind of pictures. I've been collecting the pictures of the notes that I send them. So then when we're talking about having level 4, 5, and 6, and 7, I can actually say here, these are all my notes that I've sent. Some are gray, some are not, but I'm just collecting them. So here you can't barely see it, but it says, skill victories or non-skill victories. And then I usually write them and say, hey, I can't wait for you to celebrate some of these. I just kind of try to, I guess, express to them that I'm here for them and their journey and to celebrate and support them. So that's what I do for support and for celebration. And then the other one I do is for life events. So if they had a baby or if they had a birthday, I send them. I know there's too many, sometimes I'll get too many of these, but I buy a whole pack of them on clearance. And so I just go through them. And so I send them birthday cards. For Mother's Day, I shipped out some cards and a little gift here and there of P96 as a gift for Mother's Day for my mother ambassadors. And or maybe if they had health, if they had a death in the family, I had somebody, an ambassador that had that, or maybe health issues unrelated to Plexus. So then I had one ambassador that I sent her favorite gummy bears. It's just little low-cost things that help me communicate with them and support them throughout their journey. And that's what I do for both, for customers and ambassadors. Now, one thing that I do in addition to that is I remind them of the auto shipments, and I put that all on my calendar. And at the end of the month, I try to kind of estimate how much they might be getting, so then they can anticipate them. And I always tell them, please let me know if I was right or close to how much you're going to get this month back. And the newest thing that I've been doing is the 3-way chats and 3-way calls, thanks to Rachel, because I mean, that was probably the hardest thing for me to do. And that's been working really well as well. So that is what keeps me busy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So much for sharing. Thank you so much. Jenny Beth, like I said, has like seriously high retention rate. She has hardly anyone drop off. And I think that you can see why is she really, really supports them and build relationships with them so that people want to continue to order. They know that she places value in them. I myself have taken many tips from her, and I definitely can improve some more in customer service. So I'm trying to kind of pick her brain more and more, but that was great information. You can definitely tell that her ambassadors and customers appreciate that. So thank you so much for sharing. And just a little side note about those little postcards. When she said, I know that, I don't know where she gets them, but I know that I get them from Target Dollar Spot. You can get like 8 for $1, so super cheap. And I send those out all the time. And it's amazing. I mean, Jenny Beth goes above and beyond. But it's amazing, like when you get just a little note in the mail, how good you feel. Think about last time that you got a note that was personally messaged to you from someone. You're like, oh, that's cool. They took time out of their day to do that, because not many people do snail mail. So just think about that. If your ambassador is constantly sending you cool stuff, you're like, oh, this is like legit. This person really wants to support me. So I think that's what's a favorite. Like Jenny Beth is so sweet. She sent me like snacks before in the mail. It's awesome. So thank you. It definitely makes you feel special. Saying that, don't feel like you have to do everything. Don't say, Jenny Beth does a great job of handling it, but I, right now with my teaching job and with Plexus, don't have time to quite do that much. Do I want to in the future? 100% I do. But right now, I've just taken a few things from her and become really good at them. So take a few bits and pieces of what you hear and just work on that. You don't have to do everything to be successful in this company. Pick a few key things, really perfect them and become a professional. And then as you feel comfortable with those, pick another few things up and start doing those. And so maybe you just send someone a, hey, welcome to the team note in the mail. And then maybe after a month you feel comfortable doing that, you send some documents with it, whatever the case may be. It's not 100% or bust. It's just being really good at what you do. So find your niche and work it. And customer service is definitely hers. But thank y'all so much. I don't want to keep y'all much longer. I really appreciate y'all joining, and I hope that you learned a lot from tonight. I know that I was like engrossed in what she was saying, so I know I learned a lot. This will be posted on the team page, so if you need to rewatch it to take down notes, you can definitely do that. And I will post that graphic about troubleshooting people's regimens. And I will see y'all next Tuesday. We're going to start a new series that I'm super excited about. So thanks again, and y'all have a great one.